Imagine you're driving on a highway at night in a storm. Your focus is entirely consumed by the few feet of road visible in your headlights. You're gripping the wheel, hyper-focused on immediate survival. You have no mental space to think about the best route, the state of your engine, or what you'll eat tomorrow. This intense tunnel vision focus is what it feels like for your brain to be under the influence of scarcity. Today, we're moving beyond individual financial habits to discuss a powerful external force that shapes our decisions: economic injustice. We'll explore the groundbreaking neuroscience of scarcity, how it imposes a crippling bandwidth tax on the brain, and why this is one of the most critical issues in the fight for gender and economic equality. For decades, the dominant narrative around poverty has been one of the personal feelings, but what if the narrative is fundamentally wrong? What if poverty isn't a lack of character, but a lack of cognitive resources? This is the question at the heart of revolutionary research by behavioral economist Sendhil Mullainathan and cognitive psychologist Eldar Shafir. They introduce the concept of cognitive bandwidth. Think of it as your brain's processing power. Its capacity for executive control, creative thought, and long-term planning functions largely governed by the prefrontal cortex. The research demonstrates that scarcity, whether it's scarcity of money, time, or even social connection, captures our attention involuntarily. It acts like a predator, monopolizing our mental resources. When your brain is constantly consumed with juggling bills, figuring out how to afford groceries, or managing a packed, underpaid work schedule, it has less capacity for everything else. This isn't a metaphor. This is a measurable neurological state. Studies have shown that the mental strain of poverty can cost a person up to 13 IQ points. To put that in perspective, that's the equivalent cognitive loss of pulling an all-nighter. This is the bandwidth tax. It's a levy placed on your brain by the sheer condition of not having enough, and it makes escaping that condition exponentially harder. You're trying to solve complex financial problems with a compromised processor. Now, let's place the scientific framework within the context of gender equality, because the bandwidth tax is not levied equally. Globally, women are more likely to live in poverty than men. The persistent gender pay gap means that from day one, many women are forced to manage a household with fewer resources, imposing a higher baseline bandwidth tax. But it goes deeper. Let's talk about the unpaid care economy. The endless, often invisible work of managing a household, caring for children, and looking after elderly relatives is disproportionately shouldered by women. Every school permission slip to sign, every doctor's appointment to schedule, every meal to plan, this is not just a list of tasks. This is a relentless cognitive load. This is a massive bandwidth tax. When a woman's brain is saturated with the logistics of unpaid care, her capacity to learn a new skill, to plan for retirement, to negotiate a raise, or to launch a business is systematically depleted. We are not just being denied equal pay for equal work. We're being subjected to a cognitive drain that stifles our potential before we even walk into the workplace. This is a hidden mechanism of economic oppression, written in the language of neural circuits. So, how do we fight back when the enemy is the very environment we live in? The answer is twofold. We need individual strategies to reclaim our bandwidth, and we need to demand systemic change. First, the individual strategies. These are not about trying harder, that just burns more bandwidth. They are about designing a smarter environment for your brain. Externalize your prefrontal cortex. Your brain has limited storage. Use tools as an extension of your mind. Use a calendar app for every appointment. Set up automated bill pays and saving transfers. Use budgeting apps to track spending so you don't have to hold it all in your head. Every task you uphold from your brain to a system frees up your precious bandwidth. Designed for decision fatigue. When you're low on bandwidth, your ability to make good choices plummets, so make fewer of them. Meal prep on Sundays so you don't have to decide what to eat every night. Create a simple uniform for work. Create clear financial rules like I will automatically save 5% of every paycheck, no matter what, to remove the daily deliberation. Schedule Slack. Just as engineers build Slack into a bridge to handle stress, you must build Slack into your life. Schedule 15 minutes of unstructured time when you do nothing. Meditate. Go for a walk without your phone. This isn't an indulgence. It's a cognitive necessity. It allows your prefrontal cortex to reset and consolidate information. But let me be clear, these individual hacks are like giving someone a bucket in the middle of a tsunami. They help, but they will never be enough. The real solution is to abolish the tax itself. Policies like universal basic income, subsidized high-quality childcare, paid family leave, and closing the gender pay gap are not handouts. They are the most powerful cognitive interventions we could possibly design. They are investments that would free up trillions of dollars worth of cognitive bandwidth, unlocking an unprecedented wave of human potential, particularly for women. The neuroscience of scarcity gives us a new, more compassionate, and more accurate lens through which to view economic justice. It reframes the conversation from one of individual blame to one of collective responsibility. Our goal must not be to teach people how to survive under the crushing weight of a bandwidth tax. It must be to build a world where no one has to pay it. Thanks for joining me on Thrive with Tima. If this episode sparked something in you, please do me a favor and share it with a friend, a sister, a colleague, anyone who needs to hear that they have the power to change their brain and their life. Until next time, take a deep breath. You've got this. Keep thriving. Love you. Mean it. Tima.